Hi, my name is Luisa. I'm a cosmetic chemist and the founder of Luisa Fanzani Cosmetics Lab. So lately I have received a lot of requests to record a video on acne or oily skin. So I'm finally doing this. It's gonna be short and sweet, but I really hope I will give you some valuable advice that you can put into practice right now as soon as you start watching the videos. So I want to tell you a story to begin with. When I was younger, I was a teenager, I had a lot of acne. And my grandmother one of her skincare tips was to go get some tan, go under the sun, because that would dry out my pimples. Okay, what I noticed was that it does work in the short term. However, in the long term, too much sun is gonna make our skin very dry. So this is a common myth that is going on the internet, and has been reported from moms to daughters, and runs inside the family. So I want to tell you that yes, that is true in the long term, but it's not true So I want to tell you that yes, that works in the short term, but however, it doesn't work in the long term because your skin is gonna be more dry, and that just doesn't look good. Plus, the more the skin is dry, the more sebum is going to produce. Okay, so why you have oily skin or acne or skin that has acne tendency? The cause is overproduction of sebum. And sebum is what keeps our skin lubricated, moisturized, and soft. So however, when it's too much, the skin looks oily, and it has the classical oily appearance that nobody likes it. Plus, the pores are much more evident because they are dilated in their size, and so you can actually notice them more. I want to point out that what I'm saying in this video has nothing to do with the severe condition of acne, meaning the acne when it becomes, I don't know if the term disease is the right one, but I think you were getting my message. This is just for the occasional blemishes or the hormonal light acne. Of course, if your acne is very severe, you should definitely go see a dermatologist, and please do not listen to what I say, because I'm not a doctor and I'm not here to give you any medical advice, okay? So if you have a severe acne condition, you should definitely, be taking acne medication, even orally if necessary, and do not rely on skincare products or any other natural treatment that you might read online, because those do not work. So remember that even before I'm a cosmetic chemist, I'm still a pharmacist. So I'm really aware of the difference between an OTC medication or medications in general and cosmetics. So they are two completely different fields. Let's never forget that, okay? Okay, so let's go to other suggestion when you have oily skin or combination skin, or a skin that has a tendency of having acne. What you should be doing is this. First of all, ditch all the foaming cleanser because you don't need those. And ditch those cleansers even if they claim to contain salicylic acid, which is true that it's good for acne and oily skin. However, in a cleanser that you only apply for 10 seconds on the skin is actually not gonna make any difference. So what's gonna make difference in your skin in terms of products are the serums that you apply. It's not the cleanser, no matter what you read on the packaging, the claims, that's actually not gonna make a lot of difference. So I want you to avoid to use those foaming cleansers with salicylic acid and stuff, because they are very, very extremely drying for the skin, and they are, again, you're gonna see maybe some improvements in the short term, but in the long term what they're gonna do is just dry out your skin even more. Okay, so they're actually not gonna help you that much, because when the skin is dry, the naturally a tendency of the skin is to produce even more sebum. So I want you to use a micellar water instead. Micellar water is an extremely diluted cleanser. Extremely diluted, meaning that the main component is water. However, it does have some surfactant, and in most cases it also has some active ingredients. For example, you could find the salicylic acid in the micellar water, or other acids that are good for acne. In particular, I like to mention salicylic acid and lactic acid, that in my opinion are the best ones. Also because lactic acid is naturally present in our skin, and it's naturally present in the external mantle or our skin. It's actually the acid that makes sure that our skin has a low pH, which is necessary to avoid proliferation of is there such a word as proliferation? Yeah, I think so. Proliferation of bacteria on the skin. Okay, so I want you to use the micellar water that has salicylic acid or lactic acid. Niacinamide is good too. So the difference is that, like I said before, when you apply a cleanser, a foaming cleanser, a regular one, after say 10 seconds, you're just gonna rinse it off. So all these good stuff and active ingredients that are inside the cleanser cannot actually do anything good for your skin, because you remove them right away. Instead, of micellar water being so diluted can actually be left on the skin, so it doesn't require to be rinsed off. And this gives time for the active ingredients that I was mentioning before to do their job, okay? So this is the first thing. The second thing is that, you can, on top of after the micellar water, if you feel that you still need to clean a little bit more, you can also apply a toner. Okay, toner is going to help you with the finishing up the cleansing process. And also, again, it can contain some active ingredients that can help you fight this oily skin. Always remember though that a toner like a micellar water is composed mainly of water, so I wouldn't expect drastic results by using a toner and a cleanser. Which brings me to the next point, that is, if you are on a budget, if you're just new to the skincare game, you really don't know, what product you should be using or not, just do not buy a toner. Skip the toner step and make everything a little bit more simple, okay? Toner is okay if you want to step up your skincare game, but if you're just at the beginning, I don't see it as a product as like everyone should be using, because again, extremely diluted, and 90% of the cases it's really just water with a little bit of botanical extract. Definitely not worth some hefty prices. And again, no, I don't. Okay, I don't want to say too many bad things about toners, but I think you got my message, right? Okay, So after the toner, or if you didn't use it after the micellar water, you should be using a serum. This is gonna be the key point of your skincare routine for oily skin, so I want you to pay a lot of attention. So oily skin, acne skin, you do not have to apply anything that is oily or a serum that contains already oils, which means absolutely do not buy those facial oils. They are just gonna make your condition even worse. Do not buy mixed serum, which means serums that contains two phases, because they still contain oil. I would also avoid esters, which you can recognize in the ingredients list because the name finishes with ATE, for example, lauryl, laurate, so ATE. This is the denomination for esters. Esters are like oils, but they are much more, their spreading power is much more better, and they are very lightweight, which means that they can give you the emolliency you might be looking for without the heaviness, greasiness of the oil. So highly recommended, okay? But again, if you want, you can use this kind of serums with esters, no oil. But still, the best thing, in my opinion, would be to use a serum that is like a gel, which means it's water-based, okay? Mainly water-based means that it's going to contain water and active ingredients plus a gelling agent, maybe some natural extract, but those are just for marketing. I want you to focus more on the active ingredients, the water, and sometimes you find alcohol with for oily skin and acne prone skin has a double function of drying out the pimples and also favor absorption of active ingredient. It is true that alcohol dries out the skin, so it has to be, you cannot use a serum that has a high percentage of alcohol. Just keep it low. But however, when you have oily skin, alcohol is not that bad because actually can also work as sanitizing agent, helping reduce the inflammation and the bacteria proliferation that is usually associated with acne. Okay, so yes, small amounts of alcohol, yes, water-based serum. As far as active ingredients, I would focus on the gold standards. Do not try to get fancy here. Let's focus on 2-3 ingredients that have been proven to be effective. Okay, one would be salicylic acid, still the gold standard in acne treatment, especially if you have just oily skin or acne prone skin, meaning you don't really have acne. Salicylic acid is gonna help you a lot. Okay, salicylic acid, I would suggest getting a concentration up to 2%, okay? Or if you just, if you just want to exfoliate a little bit and don't really have, just for oily skin, there's no need to, you get 2%, you can get away with 0.5%. Okay, after the salicylic acid, I want you to use niacinamide. Niacinamide, there have been a lot of recent studies that show how niacinamide could possibly be effective for acne. So this is why I want you to use it together with the salicylic acid. However, these studies are not conclusive. But we don't care because niacinamide has been proven to reduce the size of the pores, which is most of the time no pore, like I was telling you before. Enlarged pores are the hallmark of oily skin or acne skin. So niacinamide is gonna reduce the appearance of our pores and maybe it's even gonna help us with acne. So definitely we want that. And we want that together with salicylic acid, possibly in the same product, because salicylic acid unlike other acid, can work also at a pH that is a little bit higher. So we want the product to be at the pH of 6. That is the pH where niacinamide is the most effective, and salicylic acid can tolerate a pH of 6 as well. So actually I am developing this serum that has 15% niacinamide, and it's gonna really help you decrease the size of the pores. So if you want more information about that, just send me a DM. And so we were saying niacinamide, salicylic acid, and then again, many people talk about glycolic acid, but I prefer lactic acid a lot more, and that's for the reason I was telling you before, because it's already naturally present in our skin. So I really feel like it can benefit more. In general, I always privilege active ingredients that are already in our body, because that means they have a high tolerance and are less prone to give you skin reactions and allergies. Okay, now the last step of the skincare routine will be the moisturizer. Okay, if you have oily skin or acne skin, you might or might not need a moisturizer. If you have, like I was telling you before, if you used to have pimples that are dried out, or if you have been washing your skin too much and now it's very dry, then definitely, yes, you still need to apply a moisturizer. Skin can be dry or can be dehydrated. Usually when we say dehydrated, we refer to the water that is present in the deeper layers of the skin. While when we say dry skin, we mean that the skin lacks water in the more external layer. So when you have oily skin, usually the external layer is perfectly moisturized, but your skin might be dehydrated. Okay, the best cure for hydrated skin is just to drink water. And also, if you're drinking a lot of water but do not see results, it's because the skin barrier can be damaged. So you still losing water. Okay, so in that case, I still want you to use a moisturizer even if you have dry skin. Okay, what moisturizer you should be using? You should definitely use a moisturizer that has silicones and that is oil free. Alternatively, if you don't want to use a moisturizer, I would like to say that many primers, so bases for makeup, many primers are actually made of silicones and powders that are there to absorb the oil on the skin. So you don't necessarily have to use a moisturizer. You could also use one of these primers that work amazingly. In particular, there's one that is it's called number 7 primer. I highly recommend that primer because it's good, and it keeps your skin moisturized, but it does not contain oil, and also function as a primer. So we just, if you're like me, you just want to do things quickly, the fast way. So I just use that instead of a moisturizer. My skin is normal, but still I like to use a primer. Okay. So this is it. Like I said, moisturizer, if you feel like you need it, opt for something that contains silicones and ceramide. They can help you improve the skin barrier integrity. Okay, if if you consider your skin to be too oily, don't want to use moisturizer, again, just use a primer because you need to somehow have this oil absorb, because oily skin, I mean, it's nothing wrong with oily skin. It can be healthy. It's just something that is genetic. The issue with oily skin is just it doesn't look look good. Okay, this is why we need to do something about it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my tips. This is it for today. I'll see you in the next video. And please, if you like what I do, if you like my videos, you like my tips, please share them with a friend so we can grow this movement of